Back in 1986, a French researcher named Rene Peoc'h carried out this fascinating experiment. He took a robot programmed to move completely at random, 50% left, 50% right, and he introduced it to newly hatched chicks. Now here's the wild part. The chicks imprinted on this robot as if it were their mother.
Wait, hold on. The robot became their mother? Like a robot mom?
Well, not literally, of course, Chuckles, but the chicks did bond with it the way they would with a mother hen. Then Peoc'h placed the robot in an arena, and the chicks were put in a cage on one side where they could see the robot but couldn't reach it. Here's where it gets really interesting.
Let me guess. The robot stopped wandering randomly?
Exactly. Instead of moving all over the arena, its path shifted. It started staying closer to the side of the cage where the chicks were. This wasn't part of its programming. It was supposed to move randomly after all, but their desire to be near it seemed to influence its behavior.
See, now that's crazy. Are we saying baby chicks can Jedi mind trick a machine?
It's not mind control, at least not in the way we typically think about it. Peoc'h interpreted this experiment as evidence that their intention or their directed desire to be close to the robot cause a real physical change. It raises questions about whether thoughts and intentions can influence the physical world in subtle but measurable ways.
Okay, but hold on. If chicks can do that, then what about us? Doesn't this mean our thoughts could, I don't know, steer reality somehow?
That's the million-dollar question, right? If baby chicks' intentions could affect a randomly programmed robot, what does it say about the potential of human thought? And let's take it a step further. Could collective intention shared by a large group create even greater effects?
Like group manifestation vibes. Huh. Okay. I see where you're going with this, but let me ask you something.
Go for it.
What about honeybees? You always talk about how bees work together, almost like they have this hive mind. Could their collective focus on gathering nectar or protecting their hive show a similar kind of influence on their environment?
You know, that's a brilliant connection. Bees operate with a sort of collective intention. They're completely in sync with each other. Their behavior changes ecosystems. Without bees, most flowering plants wouldn't survive. So maybe in a way, they're showing us how purpose and intention can shape the world around them, just like those chicks with the robot.
All right, Joseph. This whole collective intention idea has me thinking. What happens when people come together with a shared goal, like in urban agriculture? How does that kind of focus actually make a difference in the world around them?
Great question. Imagine a neighborhood coming together to turn a vacant lot into a community garden. That shared intention to reclaim the space and grow food literally transforms the environment. It's not just a physical act of planting the seeds, it's the focus, the care, and the purpose behind it that shifts the energy of the space. Over time, it becomes a thriving hub for pollinators, produces healthy food, and fosters a sense of ownership within the community.
So you're saying it's kind of like that robot experiment, but instead of chicks influencing a machine, its entire communities influencing their ecosystems?
Exactly. The principle remains the same. When a community aligns on a single purpose, their actions create ripples socially, economically, and environmentally. Look at Charm City honeybees, for example. We focus on crops that thrive thanks to pollinators, fruit trees, cucumbers, sunflowers. But that's a deliberate choice. It's an intention to work with the environment, not against it, and to improve food security and biodiversity at the same time.
Right, and it's got to be bigger than just planting seeds. In my work with food justice, especially in food deserts, it's not just about physical food. It's about telling people, this is yours. You plant a tomato, yeah, but at the same time, you're planting the idea that you can control what you eat. You're taking back the power, you know?
Absolutely. And what's interesting is how those shared efforts, like creating a garden or introducing bees, can reshape how people perceive their environment. It's not just, oh, here's some food. It's we did this together. We nurtured it. We made our neighborhood better. That collective intention and action ripple outwards and can change urban ecosystems dramatically.
And let's not forget it's contagious. That one garden inspires the next block, then the next. People start seeing what's possible. It's like this domino effect of positivity, right?
Right. And it's all rooted in intention. The beauty of it is, whether it's bees pollinating flowers or humans building gardens, the underlying principle is the same. Focus and purpose lead to transformation. You focus on what you want to nurture, and the results speak for themselves.
Yeah, but here's something I've been thinking about. What if the collective intention isn't positive? Like, sure, when people come together for good, the impact is amazing. But what happens when the intention is misguided? All right, Joseph. So we've talked about how positive intention can transform spaces. But it's still wild to think about something like Peoc'h's experiment with the chicks in that robot. It makes me wonder, how does something as abstract as intention actually play a role when we bring technology into the mix, especially in urban farming systems?
Great question. So think about AI, a system designed to calculate and respond logically based on data. What if we could incorporate something like intention into machine learning models? Imagine drones that don't just work on pre-programmed routes but adapt based on the needs of a crop field in real time. It's like blending calculation with purpose-driven behavior.
Wait, you're saying robots could care about crops? Like the AI version of these chicks wanting to stay close to their robot mom?
Well, not care in the emotional sense, but mimicking intention through program parameters. Take targeted pollination drones, for example. We can use AI-driven intentions, like focusing on areas that need extra attention. Maybe because of drought, stress, or pest infestations. It's about tuning the system to act as though it had an intentional goal, even if it's really the result of advanced algorithms and data.
Okay, but here's where I think it gets interesting. You've got robots doing the heavy lifting? Sure. But in urban communities, especially marginalized ones, the cultural meaning behind it is huge, isn't it? Like, using this tech isn't just about efficiency, it's about empowerment.
Exactly. The tech itself is one piece of the puzzle. The larger goal is creating systems that uplift communities. Advanced robotics, AI mapping, drones. When combined with intention, they help people reclaim spaces. Vacant lots turn into thriving green havens. These tools, used thoughtfully, can provide access to fresh food, nurture pollination systems, and reduce urban heat islands.
And the ripple effect. Always the ripple effect. One intentional action inspires others. I mean, if a robot can steer closer to chicks, think about what intentional community-driven tech can do when people feel, for lack of a better word, seen by it. It's not just tools. It's a revolution in how we live in cities.
Exactly. And what's truly fascinating is how we pair this with real human-driven intention. Communities adopt these tools and add layers of cultural and practical context, understanding what their specific neighborhoods need. That's the synergy, right? AI might guide the work, but the intention, dedication, and vision always come from the people.
All right, so drones are the new chickens. Got it.
Chuckles. Not quite, but I get where you're going. At the end of the day, Peoc'h showed that intention, not just action, has an impact. Applying that concept to robotics and agriculture, we're seeing potential for AI to transform urban ecosystems when guided by clear and directed goals.
Well, you already know. I'm loving the blend of tech and tradition. It's the future I want to see. And that's all we've got for today, folks. Keep those intentions strong. And maybe keep an eye on your local bees and drones.
It's been great talking as always. Until next time, keep building those communities, one hive, one garden, and maybe even one robot at a time.